Hello, dear students. In the last period, we have discussed about the TTL gates like NOT gate, NOR gate, and NAND gate. Now, in this lecture, we are going to understand about the CMOS gates. That means complementary metal oxide semiconductor devices, in which they uses PMOS and PMOS and NMOSes. But before understanding how CMOS gates works, we first have to understand what is meant by PMOS, what is meant by and NMOS. Okay. So let us see what do you mean by PMOS, how they turn on, how they turn off. To understand PMOS and NMOS, we have to first consider the unipolar devices. In the class 11th, you might have been gone through about the unijunction transistors. The unijunction transistors, they are called as unipolar devices. Why? Because the current conduction through the device is due to only one type of polar, one type of pole. That means either electrons or either holes. So these devices, when the current is due to holes, they are called as p-type UJT. And if the current is due to the electrons, they are called as n-type UJT. Let us see how they work. Suppose we have taken a bar like this, and this bar may be of p-type or may be of n-type. We will consider that this bar is of p-type. P-type means it is a pure semiconductor in which the trivalent impurities are added. So that is why it is converted into a positive type semiconductor. That is why it is called as P-type. In P-type semiconductors, there is a amount of holes which are free, and the current conduction will be due to only holes. So that is why overall polarity of this device will be positive. So that is why this type of semiconductor is called as P-type. So this is a bar of p-type semiconductor, and suppose we have arranged n-type semiconductor like this. That suppose this is the p-type bar, and let the n-type semiconductor is surrounded like this. So that will form two sections here like this. So this is the n-type semiconductor. Now here you can see that there are three connections are created here. One of the terminal, this will be called as the source, this will be called as a drain, and middle one, this will be called as the gate. Just like the bipolar junction transistor, like NPN transistor, in NPN transistor there are three terminals like emitter, base, and collector. The function of emitter is to emit the charges, and they will be carried out forward to the collector, and middle section is called as the base. In the same way, UJT also has three terminals. One of them is called as source, drain, and gate. Source is just like emitter in transistor, drain is just like collector in transistor, and gate is just like base in transistor. So these are the three terminals of the unijunction transistor. Now here you can see in the bipolar junction transistor there were three regions, emitter, base, and collector, in which the middle one semiconductor was of opposite polarity. That means suppose we are considering an NPN transistor in which n-type will be the emitter and p-type will be the base and n-type will be the collector. in which emitter is N type, collector was N type, and P type was in the middle as base. So here PN. So in this way, there is the creation of two junctions here, one in between emitter and base, and another between base and collector. So this is junction J1, and this will be junction J2. So two junctions was formed in bipolar junction transistor. So that is why bi means two, bipolar or bijunction. Bijunction means there are two junctions. So that is why it is called as bijunction transistor. In NPN and PNP transistor, you can see that there are N type, P type, and N type. So whenever the current is due to suppose electrons in this, suppose it is flowing from left to right, at the same time holes are also flowing from right to left. So at the same time both the poles are flowing in the devices. So that is why it is called as bipolar junction transistor. The current in the bipolar junction transistor is due to both the poles. That means due to electrons as well as due to holes also. So that is why it is called as bipolar junction transistor. But here in the case of UJT, you can see from source to drain there is only a single type of semiconductor is there. That means P type semiconductor is there. So during when the current starts from source and it flows towards drain, it will be flowing throughout the substrate, and it will be, you can see that the whole substrate is of P type. So whole the current conduction throughout the device will from the source to drain will be of P type. So current conduction will be due to holes only. So here the current is only due to positive charges. So that is why it is called as P type UJT. So the current is due to only one pole, that means holes. That is why this is P type UJT. We can call it as. So this is P type UJT. So current conduction is due to positive charges, that means holes. So this is P type UJT, and this is due to the current is due to only one pole. So that is why it is called a unipolar junction transistor. So unipolar junction transistor. Second thing, here you can see that in BJT bipolar junction transistor there was formation of two junctions like J1 and J2. Here you can see the gate is surrounded like this, and gate is of N type and P type is substrate. So middle part is P type and the surrounding part is N type. So at the boundary where the P type and N type meet, there will be a formation of junction. So around the whole circular area there is a formation of junction, but this junction is only a single junction. So here only one junction is formed. So that is why it is called a unijunction transistor, or it may be called as unipolar transistor. So this was the construction about P type UJT. Now let us move forward. What will happen if they are biased with the power supply? Let us see. Now let us see how this unijunction transistor will work when it is biased with the power supply. Suppose we have connected a power supply here. Positive terminal is connected to source, and suppose negative terminal or ground potential is connected to the drain. So the current will start from source to drain through the P type material. But in between, suppose this gate, it is connected like this, that this is N type, and suppose it is connected to positive terminal of the battery, and the drain, it is commonly connected to negative power supply. Suppose this power supply connected between the gate is suppose variable. Right now here there is no potential applied, so the voltage applied to the gate is suppose 0. So there will be no depletion layer formed across the junction. Now suppose we gradually increase the voltage of gate. What is happening? The gate voltage, it is reverse biasing the PN junction. So whenever this voltage is increased, what will happen? There will be the formation of depletion layer across the junction. This can be explained like this. Suppose this is your P type substrate and this is your gate. and we have applied a potential between the gate and drain. And gradually we are increasing the voltage. So when the voltage is increased, there is a formation of depletion layer here. If we further increase the voltage to the gate, this will again increase the depletion layer. So this depletion layer, it is forming across the circular area, across the surface of the P-type material. So whole area, it is surrounded by a depletion layer, and the depletion layer is forming. Suppose again we have increased, so depletion layer goes on increasing like this. In this way. So at a certain point of voltage, what is happening? If you further increase the voltage to the gate, this depletion layer will differentiate this P-type substrate into two sections, where this will be different and this section will be different. So there will be no current conduction at this point. So at the gate voltage, when this depletion layer throughout the circular area which will meet each other, and at this point these sections are differentiated and there will be a stoppage of current from source to drain. At that time, this voltage, when this is happening, it's called as pinch off voltage. Now suppose we have started increasing the voltage from 0 volt, and suppose this voltage, this depletion layer throughout the area, it is meeting each other at a voltage of suppose 1.5 volt. Then this 1.5 volt, it will be called as a pinch off voltage. Pinch off voltage means what is actually happening. Suppose this is a person, and suppose this is his head, and suppose this is his whole body, and we have grabbed his neck like this, and suppose we are increasing the pressure on the neck. What is happening? There will be a differentiation between his head and his whole body. What is happening? What will happen? He may die. Same thing is happening. There will be no circulation of current from source to drain, and we have pinched the neck of this P-type substrate. So when this is done, what is happening? The sections are differentiated. So in this way, there will be no current there will be no current from the source to drain, and this voltage is pinch off voltage. So when in the P-type UJT, when it is not biased or no voltage is applied to the gate, what is happening? The P-type source to drain current was on. So when the voltage is applied, and when the voltage is more than 1.5 volt, this section, it is turned off. So there will be no current conduction. So this device is off after application of the voltage. So we have to remember one thing: when P-type, if P-type is connected to high voltage, P-type means the gate of the P-type, if it is connected to high voltage, it will be turned on. And if it is connected to low voltage, it will be turned on. Now suppose we have decreased this voltage, we have removed this voltage. What is happening? The depletion layer will be removed. So when the depletion layer will be removed, it will be turned on. So there will be current conduction from source to drain at this point. So when gate voltage is applied, what is happening? It is turned off. And when gate voltage is released or removed, what is happening? It is turned on. So there will be current conduction. So in this way, applying gate voltage, we can turn on or turn off these devices. So that is why it is also used as a switch. So same circuit can be used to construct the logic gate. So this was all about the P-type material. Suppose the device is of N-type. Now suppose this is your N-type substrate and the surrounding gate is of suppose P type. Now here, and suppose this voltage is applied, and remember one thing, that this voltage must be in the reverse bias mode. Now what is happening? Write this. If this voltage is in reverse bias, so the depletion layer will be high. So in the N type, if voltage is 0, the depletion layer will be formed, and if the voltage is gradually increased, then what is happening? The depletion layer will be removed. So in the normal condition, when the voltage is not applied to the N type material or low voltage is applied to the N type material, what is happening? It is turned on. So in the case of N type UJT, if low voltage is applied, it will be off, and if high voltage is applied, it will be on. So the properties of N-type UJT and P-type UJT are vice versa. So switching on and switching off, it is also vice versa. So in P-type, when gate voltage is applied, it will be off, and when it is not applied, it will be on. The reverse property of N-type will be, when gate voltage is applied, it will be on, and when gate voltage is not applied, it will be off. So we have to understand this thing, and we have to remember this to understand the CMOS logic gates. So these two sentences or one of the sentence can be remembered like this: P-type high voltage, it will be off; P-type low voltage, it will be off. And the reverse property can be easily remembered to understand the working of logic gates using CMOS gate. So we will further move on to understand the working of CMOS gates. So remember this thing: P-type high, if gate is connected to high voltage, it will be off; if gate is connected to low voltage, it will be on. For N-type UJT, if gate voltage is high, it will be on; if gate voltage is low, it will be off. So whole working can be easily understandable using this formula, or using only one sentence, that is P-type high, off; P-type low, on. Now let us consider, for example, how these PMOSes are used, or PMOSes or NMOSes are used to construct the logic gates. First of all, we have to understand the construction of this. Now let us understand the symbol of PMOSes and CMOSes. Now that was UJT. Now why they are called as MOSes? Now constructing this type of devices, it uses the metal oxide semiconductor layer. So that is why it is called as metal oxide semiconductor devices. You can see this is your gate terminal, this is your source, this is your drain. Now here, remember one thing: if we have to show that this type of device, whether it is P-type or whether it is N-type, we have to put an arrow between the gate. Suppose I have drawn an arrow like this. So this arrow is from left to right. So current always flow from positive to negative. Conventional current, we consider that it will flow from positive to negative. That means this terminal is positive. So this P-type material is shown like this. If arrow is from left to right, that means this device is of P-type. So arrow should be remembered like this. Second thing, whenever the source and gate, it should be commonly shown by a line connected between the gate terminal and the source. So this will be the symbol of P-type material. Second, if you are considering an N-type material, Then how n-type is shown? Let us see. So this is the layers of oxide, and they are differentiated like this by a dotted line. So this is your source, this is your gate terminal, this is your drain. So this is your source, this is your drain, and this is your gate. Now in between gate and the material there is oxide layer, so that is why there is a gap shown here. So this is your gate. Now I want to show that this is n-type material. Then the arrow should be like this. So this terminal, it is n-type, and this terminal is p-type. So n-type is the substrate. So this will be the symbol for n-type CMOS, n-type MOS, and this will be the p-type MOS. Okay. Now we have to construct a logic gate using these devices. So let us remember this thing. If the MOS is of p-type, then we will call it as a PMOS. And if gate is connected to high, it will be off, and low to on. So if NMOS is there, if it is connected to high, it will be on, and if it is connected to low, it will be off. So we have to just remember these things. Now to construct a NOT gate using PMOS and CMOS. Let us see how it is constructed. PMOS and CMOS, in which all the circuits in PMOS and CMOS, they are actually described with driver and load. Okay, what is meant by driver? Whenever the circuit is connected to power supply, the first circuit we have to connect that circuit is driver, and where the output is taken or the voltage across the device is taken, that terminal is called as load. Okay. Now here to construct the NOT gate using PMOS and NMOS, what we have to do? This is your P-type, and PMOSes are always work as drivers in all the circuits of CMOS gates, and the loads are connected, and those loads are constructed using only NMOSes. So here in the UJT, in the NOT gate, what we have to do? We have to take a PMOS, and PMOS and CMOS, they should be connected in the series. But here some difference is there, that we have to connect the drains of PMOS and CMOS commonly, and the output is taken across common drain. So this is your drain for NMOS, and this is your drain for PMOS. So upper load, upper driver is P-type, and the load is of N-type. While explaining the symbol, I have told you that the gate terminal and the source, they should be connected with a line. So here this will be your drain, so this will be your source. So that is why I am connecting this terminal like this. So symbols are drawn like this. Arrow is from right to left, so that is why it is N-type, because middle terminal is arrow indicating that it is N-type. So this is N-type semiconductor, and that is why it is NMOS. So symbolically we have to draw like this. Here arrow is from left to right, so semiconductor device is of P-type, so that is why this is PMOS. So arrow is indicating that this is PMOS. So PMOS is working as a driver, and NMOS is working as a load. Here we have to connect the power supply. So positive VDD, so it is connected to drain, like collector in the bipolar junction transistor we indicate a power supply by VCC. So it is connected to collector. So that is why here we have to mention that it is connected to VDD. Just to remember that this is the PMOS or this is unijunction transistor. Now here the current conduction will be like this. It will first enter to the PMOS, and then it will enter to the NMOS, and the whole current it will sink towards the ground. So this will be the ground terminal. Now what about the gates? In NOT gate we know that it has only one input and one output. So here there are two inputs right now, but we have to common this. So when it is common, there will be a single terminal. So right now there is one input and there is one output. So this will be your input for NOT gate. Now here NMOS and PMOS both are connected here. You can see that the gate of PMOS, it is connected to A terminal, while at the same time gate of NMOS, it is connected to input A. So this forms a complementary connection. Likewise, when A is connected to PMOS, A is same at the same time it is connected to NMOS. This connection is called as complementary connection. So that is why this whole device, combination of these two devices, is called as complementary MOSFETs. So that is why in short we will call it as a CMOS. Complementary metal oxide semiconductors. Now let us see how it will work. We know that the truth table of NOT gate, so it is a Y equal to A complement. That means the output is complement of input. So its truth table will be like this. As it is a single input terminal, so there will be only two possible combinations of input. Either the input can be low or either the input can be high. So if input is low and if input is high, what will be the output? The output can be calculated using Boolean equation. Y equal to A complement. So when input is 0, output should be 1. When input is 1, output should be 0. So let us see if it will work or not. First condition, let us see if it is connected to ground. That means the input is low. That means 0 is connected at the input. Now what is happening to the PMOS? As we have already discussed on how the switching action is done using PMOS and NMOS, we have created a sentence for a consideration that it can be used as a formula. When PMOS is connected to high, it will be off, and when PMOS is connected to low, it will be on. That means PMOS gate, if it is connected to high, it will be off, and if its gate is connected to low, it will be on. What is happening here? This low, it is connected to PMOS gate, and what this states that when PMOS is connected to low, the gate will be on. So this PMOS will be on. So current from the power supply, it will enter and it will reach toward the drain. Okay. Now what is happening to the NMOS? The low is connected to gate of NMOS, and if low is connected to gate of NMOS, what is happening to the device? It is becoming now same A input, it is also connected to the gate of NMOS. In this formula you can see, if gate of NMOS it is connected to low, the device will be off. So here same 0 or same low, it is connected to gate of NMOS also. So from the formula, NMOS is connected to low. So this is our condition. So what is happening? It is turning off. That means the depletion layer is already present there, and if low voltage is applied, the depletion layer is combined with each other. So that is why the device is off. So this device right now is off. From the power supply, the current is start flowing, and it will, as this device is off, the current will easily flow through it, and it will reaches to the drain. And suppose a resistor and a LED is connected here. Then what is happening? The current is reaching up to this point, but it will not flow towards ground through this region. Why? Because this N-type device, it is off. So the path for the current to reach or to sink the ground, it is off. So remaining path for the current will be through the LED towards ground. So all the current from the drain, it will bypasses towards the ground through LED. So when LED is getting the current, it will have the voltage, and that is why it will glow. And when LED is glow, what we understand that there is a high voltage and which is glowing this LED. So that is why at the output we can say that output is high. So when 0 is inputted here, what is happening? We are getting high voltage at the output. So this first condition, it is satisfied here. Now the second condition, for second condition what we have to do, we have to connect this towards the power supply. That means we are connecting this input terminal to the high voltage. So this high same is getting to the gate of PMOS and to the gate of NMOS also. So here high voltage to the gate of PMOS, what is happening? This is our condition, we are getting high to the PMOS, so this device will be on. So the driver PMOS, this switch is off, and the same high, it is also connected to the gate of NMOS. So high at the gate of NMOS, what is happening? High at the gate of NMOS, the device will be on. So this device will be on here. But when the power supply's current has to be passed towards the drain, this device is off. So there will be no current presenting at the drain. Suppose there will be a leakage current which is suppose present here, that will be seen towards the switch, because this is actually working as a switch and this device is on. So all the current will sink towards the ground. If all the current is sinking towards the ground, and as compared to switch and the LED circuit, this circuit is more resistive than that of the NMOS circuit. So that is why all the current which will, if it is present here, it will sink towards the ground, and no current will flowing towards through the LED. So this LED will be off. And if LED is off, what it means? That the output is right now low. So where we have started, we have connected the gate or the input of this gate to high voltage, and what we are getting? We are getting low at the output. So second condition is also satisfied. That means when A is connected to high, we are getting 0 at the output. Now the same circuit, if this is complex to understand, can be understandable using a switching circuit. Suppose this is your one switch and this is your second switch, and this is your power supply. Now this is your PMOS and this is your NMOS. So basically these PMOSs and CMOSs, they are actually used as a switch only. So that can be represented by a single switch like this, and the output is taken in between the series connection of PMOS and NMOS. So when input is 0, A is 0, 0 is connected to PMOS and as well as to NMOS. What is happening? If 0 is connected to PMOS, it will be off. So here 0 is connected to PMOS, it will be on. So this switch is closed right now. So when A input is 0, so current is flowing here, we are getting high output because the NMOS is off. The current cannot go towards the ground. So all the current will flow towards the output. So output is high in this case. In the same way, if 1 is connected, what is happening? 1 means logic high is connected, the PMOS will be off. So this switch is off. At the same time, if high voltage is connected to NMOS, NMOS is on. So if this switch is open, then no current will be here. So if no current, there will be the output. So same circuit can be understandable using the switching circuit like this. So remembering, we have to remember one thing, that all the drivers in this circuit, in all the circuit of CMOSs will be of P type, and all the loads will be of N types. So here in the NOT gate, what we have done, we have taken a PMOS and NMOS. We have connected their circuit in series. So PMOS and NMOS, they are connected in series circuit, and all the current has to pass through both the devices towards ground. And these switches can be turned on or turned off using a common gate, and we have taken a common gate connected to input A, and output of both the circuit, it is taken in between the switching circuit, and the drains of both the NMOS and PMOS, they are taken common, and from the common we have taken the output. So in this way, this NOT gate, it is constructed using a CMOS. CMOS means complementary metal oxide semiconductor. So remember these things: PMOS, gate is high, output device will be off. PMOS, if gate is connected to low, it will be turn off. And if you remember this sentence, you can easily remember the condition for NMOSes also. And same can be utilized to construct the other circuit like NAND gate and NOR gate. So this was all about CMOS as a NOR gate. In the next topic we will discuss on the NAND gate and NOR gate. Thank you.